Hello, everyone. For this training session, we are covering the employee document type functionality inside the Onfinity system. Let's understand the definition. Employee document types are the various categories of documents associated with you during your time at an organization. These can include your personal identification, qualification certificates, and other employment-related records. We understand the use case. When you join an organization, you are required to submit specific documents for verification and record-keeping purposes. These documents may include identity documents such as an Aadhaar card, voter ID, birth certificate, PAN card, passport, or other government-issued IDs. Qualification documents are also needed, like your educational degrees or course completion certificates. To make this process seamless, the system administrator must first set up these document types in the Onfinity system. This allows the necessary documents to be collected either during the onboarding process or at a later stage. There are certain steps to configure the employee document types. The administrator logs into the Onfinity system. You navigate to the HR Management section in the main menu. Open the General Setup folder. Select the Employee Document Type window. You click on Create New Record to add a new document type. You then enter the document details and click on Save. For a use case execution example, you need to configure document types for employee onboarding. The admin logs into the system. You go to HR Management, then to General Setup, and finally to Employee Document Type. Create a new record and input the required document details. Save the record. You then navigate to the Subdocument Type tab to add any related subdocuments. Now, let's see how this is implemented in the system. We begin at the login screen, where the administrator logs in using their unique credentials. You enter your user ID and password, then click on Login. Upon a successful login, you will see the system dashboard, which contains several widgets. The data in these widgets will appear after transactions have been performed. For this session, we are focusing specifically on system configurations. You can navigate to the employee document type setup from the main menu. Go to HR Management, then to General Setup, and finally to Employee Document Type. You will then be creating a new document type configuration. In the Organization field, if you want this configuration to apply to all organizations in the system, you can leave it as default, which is all. To configure for a specific organization only, you can select that organization from the list. For the document type code, you enter a unique code for the document type. If this is left blank, the system will auto-generate a code for you. You then choose the relevant document from the list of values, which could be a birth certificate, contract information, or confirmation letter. For this example, we will select birth certificate. You will then specify the date from which this document type becomes effective by using the Start Date field. There is also an End Date, which is an optional field. You can enter an end date if there is a defined expiration for this document requirement. The description allows you to enter any relevant notes or information regarding the document type. Once all the necessary fields have been completed, click on Save to store the new document type configuration. After saving the main document type, the next step is to add the associated subdocument types. You can do this by navigating to the Subdocument Type tab. In this tab, the organization and document type fields are automatically filled in based on the information provided in the previous step. You can now add the following details. You will see the subdocument type name. For example, if the main document type is birth certificate, the subdocument can also be named birth certificate. Enter the date from which this subdocument becomes applicable in the Start Date field. The end date is optional. You can specify an end date if there is one associated with the validity of this subdocument. The description field allows you to provide a brief description or any relevant notes. Once all the required fields are completed, click on Save to store the subdocument details. After you have saved, you can review the configuration by returning to the list view to see a summary of all added subdocuments. Then, navigate back to the Document Type tab to continue with other configurations or to review your entries. To add more document types and subdocuments, you follow the same process. You must create a new record in the Employee Document Type tab. The next step is to fill in the following fields. You select the relevant organization. In the document type code, you can enter a unique code or leave it blank to allow the system to auto-generate one for you. In the document type field, select a new document type from the list. For this example, we will select identity card. In the start date field, you specify the date from which this document type becomes valid. Finally, in the description field, you can add any relevant notes or a brief explanation. After completing the fields, click on Save. The system will auto-generate a document type code if one was not entered manually. To add subdocuments for identity card, go to the Subdocument Type tab. The organization and document type fields will be auto-filled. You can then add the first subdocument. The subdocument name can be Aadhaar card. Enter the applicable start date. The end date is an optional field. You can add it if it is applicable. You can provide additional details in the description field. After that, click on Save. To add the next subdocument, you can create a new record. The subdocument name can be a voter ID. Then you enter the start date. The end date is optional, but you can enter it if it is required. You can add relevant details to the description field. Click on Save. Return to the list view to see a summary of all subdocuments added under the identity card document type. That concludes this session. Thank you for attending.